Hello and welcome all into the MO podcast. As always, you're here with me, Consummation San.
And me, Atreya.
And today, we are not going to be talking about Van Gogh's death.
You do this every week. Every week, you prompt next week's episode, and then every week you come in and you go, we're not going to be talking about what I thought we were going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about something completely different.
Right, there's logic here, right? So, because it's spoopy season, we got to get in on that clickbait. So,
Oh, no.
going to be talking about ghosts and ghouls for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, you've got a month to convince me, right? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, aren't you the one with the stories?
Yeah, but...
I'll just tell you that they're true.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, of
Okay,
course.
you can't
all
debunk
right.
them all, but okay.
Well, we'll see, won't
Yes,
we?
we will.
And today we're going to be talking about the Hammersmith ghost,
Oh, nice. I like
which
this.
is the first and maybe only time that a ghost was shot. And it does bring up the interesting philosophical and lawful question of, should you be shooting ghosts dead?
Should you be shooting ghosts dead?
Or shooting ghosts, to be honest with you, to try to cause harm to ghosts.
To ghosts.
Should you be doing it?
Well, I mean, so if you thought that it wasn't a ghost and it was just, I don't know why you would shoot at a ghost anyway, because A, you would assume it's a ghost, so a gun can't hurt it, and B, if you thought that it wasn't a ghost and you weren't quite sure what it was, you would think that it was a human being, and then why are you shooting at a human being?
Yeah, I think really the moral of the story at the end is education
Just don't
rather
shoot
than
anybody?
yeah, maybe that's the way forward.
Yeah.
America, take note.
Okay, what are you on about, Ant? You could take all the guns in America away. They took all the guns in England away. That's why we have high knife crime. If they took
Fair
the
point.
knives away, there'd be spoon-related deaths. And you know it.
Give me a fucking wallet or I'll spoon you.
Oh, God. Depending on who that comes from, that could be terrible.
I mean, either way, yeah. I wouldn't like to be spooned in broad daylight. Or even down a dark alley, to be quite honest. Not without consent, anyway.
As if you would never give consent.
I know, yeah. It's implicit always. Just human touch. That's all I ever want. Anyway, so Hammersmith is famous for Richard and Edward Hitler, the Hammersmith hard men from Bottom. And very little else, because the first thing I found, the first result that I got was a water polo club that was famous, and I thought, no, too posh for me, not even going to look anymore.
Good plan.
It's near Chelsea and Fulham, so it's kind of like
What do you expect?
that kind of
Yeah.
that kind of area. It's 5 miles away from Buckingham Palace, and during the time that this took place, it was the border between where London City actually began and where the countryside was slowly losing ground to the population, I suppose. So, transport you back to the Dickensian London when George III was just setting sail to sort out Napoleon. And John Dalton had just presented the first table of atomic weights at the Manchester Literary and Philosophical Society. I had to get that in Manchester, innit?
You're trying to bring them up in the world.
Yeah,
Sounds like more
we've
than
got to
that.
have something. Yeah, that and canals. And on the dark streets of Hammersmith, a ghoul was roaming free. So basically, this ghost was spotted in November of 1803 in and around Hammersmith churchyard. Now that's a little bit on the nose for me, for a ghost to be spotted in a churchyard. It's a little bit too... Yeah, where else are they going to be, dickhead?
I don't know. Because they've never been, like... Presumably a ghost... haunts where they died or where they enjoyed being in life. And I don't know anybody that enjoys being in a graveyard. And I don't feel like that, like, just because that's where your body goes, like you're dead before you get to the before you get to the graveyard, unless you have like a heart attack in a graveyard.
Yeah, or like one of them statue things falls on you.
Or that,
walking through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit on the nose, so I'm already going with this one. And we've only just begun. So,
oh, God. You're going to make me work for this one, aren't you?
So over the coming weeks and months, many people claim to have seen this spectre, with several people claiming to have been accosted by the Phantom. One stagecoach driver fled in terror, leaving his horses and 16 passengers.
What?
When he saw the entity. So he just kind of went, "See ya!"
He just jumped off and ran away.
Literally, he was driving an 8-horse carriage, which at the time was like your stagecoach bus or whatever bus. So he just seen it and went, "Ghost!" and kind of did a Scooby-Doo and Shaggy kind of thing and disappeared into the night.
Why didn't he drive the carriage away? Surely it can go faster than he can.
Maybe not at that point. He was that hyped up on fear. I don't know. One woman died of fear when she was approached by the apparition. She apparently fainted and she never recovered, dying a few days later.
Wow. She had a faint heart.
I mean, it did say elderly woman, but there's no actual record of it in, like, if you look for deaths around the time. It's not. It's just one of them. And Thomas Groom, who was he worked at a brewery. He was seized around the throat by the wraith as he walked through the churchyard.
He worked at a brewery.
Well, yeah, exactly. And he was using it as a shortcut, this churchyard as a shortcut. So maybe that's a lesson for all of us. Don't take shortcuts.
If you work in a brewery and have been sampling the goods.
Well, exactly. Exactly. But apparently the being was spooked by Thomas's companion, and after having his hands round its neck, he gave Thomas a twist around, and I saw nothing. I gave a bit of a push out with my fist. He tried to punch it, he's trying to say, but he didn't want to get done for ABH or anything like that. And he felt something soft, like a great coat.
Right. So it's likely he was trying to hit an actual person then? That they bumped into an actual bloke?
Probably. And he was wearing a big coat.
A big coat, yeah.
Yeah. So the descriptions of the Revenant were pretty standard. A very tall being dressed in all white. Again, a little bit on the nose for a ghost for me. That. Did
it have eye holes cut in the sheet as well?
It's funny you should say that, because maybe some tablecloth related issues come up later.
Come on!
It's just, yeah. But then speculation started to run rampant through the denizens of Hammersmith that the White was a man who had committed suicide the previous year and was buried in Hammersmith churchyard. This kind of came from the belief that suicide was a sin against God, and because he was buried on consecrated ground, he couldn't rest in the afterlife, so he just thought he'd mess with people in real life, I suppose. But yeah, the populace of Hammersmith lived under the threat of being dragged down to hell by the very demons themselves, apparently, for 3 months, because Sir Robert Peel had yet to sort himself out and establish the organised police force that we know today.
That catch ghosts now?
Well, no, but there wasn't any kind of law enforcement around, so they couldn't report it to anyone. It was just like, they can't go to the police and go, "I've just been accosted by a ghoul," because there was no police to go to.
Yeah, I know, but would you do that nowadays? There are police to go to, and would you go, hey, I've just been accosted by a ghost in a graveyard?
Depends what kind of hat the person is wearing, I suppose. I mean, if they like the tinfoil kind, they probably might.
I have a tinfoil hat, and I would not go to the police about ghosts. I would go to Ed and Lorraine, or a priest,
God, yeah.
or, the Roman Catholic Church, or, Zach Bagans. Give me an excuse to give him a phone call, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you should mention the church, because at the time, because there wasn't a organised police force, there was local parish constables and basically night watchmen who were basically kind of a private militia, and they ran law and order. And if you were out after dark without a decent reason, then the night watchmen would either take a bung or give you a kicking. And
that's pretty harsh. So you couldn't just walk around whenever you wanted to?
No, you needed a good reason to be out after dark. It was like proper curfews time. I don't know if there was less crime, but some people didn't take too kindly to this, especially people of high standing. And when Lord Fielding was stopped when his carriage was stopped by a constable, he threatened to box the ears of the constable that stopped his coach at 1 a.m, as it was a disgrace to stop someone of his standing.
Well, I agree.
Well, I mean, the constable replied back, mate, you're in a carriage. I don't know who the fuck you are.
Also true.
Yeah, I can only see the driver, and he looks shifty, so...
Yeah, but you would assume, though, if you were in a carriage at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're probably coming back from a party or something. You're not going to be up to... Like, Jack the Ripper wasn't trawling the streets in a carriage, was he? Picking up hookers and things like that.
That's why he didn't get caught, see?
Because he was in a carriage.
Yeah, exactly. He was just skulking around the streets and no one saw him.
He didn't look sus because he was in a carriage. Well, that would make sense. Maybe we've solved that one then. Maybe you've just solved
Exactly. He got away with it because he weren't in a carriage. If he would have been in a carriage, he would have been. So he wasn't higher born. So there we go. So we've already ruled out suspects in that case.
Yes. We've ruled out so many, like 20% of the population of London at the time.
Yeah. So
possibly less.
So it's, yeah. I mean, it's better than 15%, I suppose.
Sure, why not?
Every clap?
I'll give you it.
Yeah,
I'll give you it.
So it was one of these such night watchmen, William Girdler, that saw the Lemure. Now, I'm trying to use synonyms for ghost because I don't want to repeat myself, and that is a Roman word for ghost.
That only you knew.
Me and the Oxford Thesaurus, right?
Well, to be honest, I thought you were getting confused with lemurs, and I was going to say, well, I don't think that word means what you think it means, and I think if people had seen a lemur, they probably would have known that it wasn't a ghost, that it was a lemur. Everybody knows what King Julian looks like.
Not in them days. But if you think that's bad, we've still got another at least half an hour of this to go, so I'm gonna try not to repeat ghosts. See how good we get with that.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. So on the 29th of December, near Beaver Lane, which I had to mention just because it amuses me, William Girdler saw the aforesaid Lemure and he gave chase, but in a strange twist, for being threw off its shroud and managed to disappear into the night.
Right. I feel like it probably would have been stealthier if it wasn't wearing its shroud. It could have just walked around invisible. I don't know, why did it put its shroud on? So
people could see it, obviously. I mean, if it's invisible, how's it spooking people?
Well, yeah, but then as soon as somebody sees it, it just takes its shroud off and then goes, see ya. What's the point of that? Leave it on and do a bit of ooh.
But Girdler was not afraid. He gave chase and the ghost went, oh, fucking hell, someone's coming, quick. Oh, what do I do?
Oh, right, okay.
Get naked. I mean...
My favourite pastime.
Yeah, exactly. That's
scaring people, not getting naked.
Oh right, I was going to say that's how I make people stop chasing me. Get naked. they start running the other way, I'll be quite honest with you. Faster than they were coming towards me. So, according to Girdler, many people were very much frightened. It's terrible English, but it was 1800, so I'll let him off. And people started to take matters into their own hands by forming armed either gangs or patrols, depends which side you come down on, to try and apprehend the Bodach. It's Gaelic, that one. Which, to be fair, had as many mentions in 2019 as it did at the turn of the 19th century.
Any reason?
I have
People just like how it sounded.
Yeah, I've got absolutely no idea. That was via Oxford Languages. It peaked in the 1840s. That's when it was most used, that word.
Everyone just rediscovered it in 2019.
Apparently so, yes, and it kind of skyrocketed on the little graph that I saw. I mean, I don't know how many mentions it had. It could be like 3 rather than none. So now we enter stage left Francis Smith, who was a 29-year-old excise officer. And on the night of the 3rd of January 1804, he's just had enough. He was sick and tired. He personally had no previous run-ins with a ghost, so what he was sick and tired of, I have no idea. But he got his shotgun and went on the hunt for the doopy. West African in origin, that one.
Are you going to put all of these together in a clip at some point?
I'm going to have to now you said that, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
And then get slated on my pronunciation. Thank God there's no Norwegian ones in here.
You should have asked.
Oh, God, yeah, here we go. Might have to edit it. He wasn't going out on the hunt on his own, though. He took his very good friend Dutch Courage with him, because beforehand, he got smashed in the Black Lion pub.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly, and there is an actual plaque on the side of the place that stands there now, saying, here used to stand the Black Lion pub. It was famous because Francis Smith got pissed in here and went out and shot a ghost.
I mean, that's what every good ghost hunter does. They get wasted before they go ghost hunting.
I 100% believe that. I 100% they get wasted. Yeah. And I go, I can see 3 of them.
I do feel bad that the Black Lion pub's not there anymore, though. That's a shame.
I think the pub that's there is actually called the Black Lion, but it isn't.
Well,
it's definitely not the original. No, it's got white stone.
That smells good.
Yeah. So, Francis Smith, on his wobbly rounds, he met Girdler and stated that he would take the ghost if possible. And Girdler agreed to join him after he called the 11 o'clock hour. I mean, he was proper busy. He was like, got nothing to do for the next 53 minutes, but yeah, I'll see you after 11. Unfortunately, as history bears out, that was just a few minutes too late for him to do anything about what unfolded. Because now we enter our apparent ghost, or assumed ghost, let us say.
Have you run out of synonyms?
I did.
Oh,
I'm not
right.
good on the fly, I'll be honest with you. As everyone should know that. So this was Thomas Millwood. Now, Millwood had been mistaken for the visage.
There we go.
On 2 previous occasions because of what he wore. Now, he was a bricklayer, and he wore, as was the fashion at the time, and probably still is today, to be honest with you, if you're a painter and decorator.
Painter and decorator is a bit different to a bricklayer, aren't it?
And well, it's all the same umbrella,
I
isn't
feel like
it?
the painters and the decorators and the bricklayers would beg to differ quite strongly.
I mean, they're
They'll probably fill you in.
all all uneducated peons, aren't they?
I mean, I feel like there's a bricklayer who's got a cordial with your face written on it.
I'm only joking. I'm only saying that as I love all our bricklayer and painter and decorator brethren, I too am uneducated like yous. You can probably tell by the accent. But the point is, please, if you're going to comment, then comment, like, subscribe and comment, because it helps the algorithm.
Helps the algorithm.
Don't slag me off. I mean, you can do, as long as you're commenting on it, but don't send me hate mail.
I already do that.
Yeah, exactly. Between you and my wife, my inbox is full. So he was wearing white linen trousers, a flannel waistcoat, which was apparently new, but it was also white, and a white apron. On one of the previous occasions that he'd been mistaken for the visage.
You've already used that one. Spirit.
Use that. Spirit, we'll go with that.
Oxford Dictionary 1, ant nil.
Gone off script. It's gone. It's all gone. on one of the previous occasions, editing. On one of the previous occasions, a man and two women driving a carriage exclaimed, "There goes the ghost!" And Millwood retorted,
What accent was that supposed to be?
"I've been practicing that all week." Oh. Wow.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry, do
Now I'm deflated now. And Millwood retorted that he was as much as the ghost as the women in the carriage, and then asked the gentleman, "Do you want a punch in the head?"
This is definitely a Nova Dome British accent going on here right now. Do you want a punch in the head?
Right, fine. Practicing all week.
Practice harder.
Fucking hell, John. Right. So he asked him if he wanted a punch in the head. Pretty much that, yeah. And
As you do.
I don't know if the guy said yes or no. There's no evidence on that basis. But alas, on the fateful night of the 3rd of January, Millwood, he was just chilling at his parents' house with his sister. And even before he'd left and the front door had shut, Anne Millwood, Thomas's sister, heard Smith challenge her brother. "Damn you! Who are you? And what are you? Damn you! I'll shoot you!" he said. And Smith did as he promised and shot Millwood through the lower jaw and killed him. He's still laughing, yeah?
No.
Right, there you go. See?
But your accent is terrible.
That's how. That's
So is your improvisation accents.
Cockney, hey, geezer. Isn't that what they do?
Michael Caine is cursing you right now.
My name is Michael Caine. See? Oh. Okay, that wasn't good.
All right. Okay, I'll give you that one a little bit.
See. There you go. Thank you. So Girdler and Smith's neighbour, John Locke, heard the shot. So, Hammersmith can't be that big, really. To be quite honest. If his neighbour and Girdler, who's supposed to be calling 11 o'clock somewhere, was just round the corner.
Well, if Hammersmith's really small, he could just shout it where he stands and everyone would still hear.
Yeah, I suppose. And in fairness, he shot him with a fucking blunderbuss. So...
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he point blank?
Yeah. He like, literally. And why would a ghost just step out of a door and go, "See you, sister"? Why? Anyway, education. They heard the shot and they met Smith, who appeared agitated.
Wow. I
think that may be an understatement, to be honest, but...
He might not have given that much of a shit, really.
Well, he'd just seen a ghost, hadn't he, really? So, I mean...
He'd be more agitated by the fact he's just shot a dude.
That as well.
Oh, god damn it! I was supposed to hit the ghost. Who is this idiot wearing painter and decorator overalls? He's a fucking bricklayer? What's he dressed like a painter and a decorator for?
It makes no sense.
Get cement on them whites. You never get it out.
God damn it.
Brought it on himself.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as Girdler and Smith's neighbour turned up, they saw Millwood's body and not just a sheet lying on the floor. And they said, just chill the fuck out, man, and go home to Smith. But before he could do, a constable arrived and took him into custody. Now, Millwood's body was taken to a local inn so a doctor could examine him.
Can you imagine being in Wetherspoons or something? Someone just brings a body into the pub while you're trying to have your, like Tuesday steak club. $6.99. Yeah. And they're like, and is there a doctor in here? There has to be a doctor in this pub somewhere. All pubs have doctors. Doctors have to drink. Doctors enjoy alcohol. So which one of you goddamn people with your steak club Tuesday is a doctor? And everyone's like...
And just some guy in the back goes, me. I've got a PhD in art history.
Like, mate, this is brilliant. No doctors in this pub.
I'm sure there were other places they could have gone, but their first
like
instinct was go.
Probably.
Yeah, was to go pub.
That sounds like a really terrible excuse for a drink.
Yeah, it's like, well, while we're here, I mean, we may as well. It'd be rude not. He's not going anywhere, is he?
Exactly.
And as well, bearing in mind, this has gone 11 o'clock because Gilda's just called the hour at 11. So, everyone's in the pub.
Oh, well.
And you're not allowed to be out after dark.
Oh, maybe it was the summer. Maybe is it what time of year was it?
It was January.
Oh, yeah. That would have been dark.
Which leads us on to the point of when he's in court, his wife, Millwood's wife, was begging him to wear an overcoat because of what was happening. In the area, there was this ghost, and she was going, "You're dressed in white, dickhead." The ghost is dressed in white. It's January. It's cold. Put a fucking coat on. And he went, "Nah, I'm double hard. Oh, fucking London, innit? Yeah."
That was better. Improving.
Getting there.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
So, yeah, then he just refused. So, I don't...
Maybe it's because he was dressed like a fucking painter and decorator and not a ghost. Do you know what I mean? Like, sweetheart, I'm a painter and I'm a bricklayer that's dressed like a painter and a decorator. Regardless, nobody is gonna think that a tradesman is a ghost.
Exactly.
Right,
I'm a
egg
bricklayer.
on his face.
A bricklayer cosplaying a painter and decorator from the future, right? It works.
It's the most terrible cosplay ever. I'm going to Newcastle Comic Con next year as that. Painter and decorator from the 1800s pretending he's from the future.
I'm really a bricklayer. Oh, blew your mind.
Mind blown.
So, I mean, it may be a little bit, like, bizarre, but this actually wasn't really solved until 1983. Not the fact of who did what to who, but whether it's justifiable. So this was a massive case in English law, or it had been for the previous 100, 200 years from 1983 back, because of the trial. Because Smith was really remorseful. He'd done a horrible thing. He knew he'd done a horrible thing. He'd killed someone, but he just wanted to be Zach Baggins and be a ghost hunter.
With a blunderbuss. Zach would never take a blunderbuss to a ghost fight.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say because he's educated, but that falls down real fast when you watch him.
Wow. Don't you be bashing on Zach.
I know.
I love him.
I know. I've got a feeling his lawyers are going to contact me at some point about shit I give him.
If they do, can you ask for his number and give it to me, please?
Oh, God, then we'll both get restraining orders.
Very true. No, he might enjoy my company. We have a lot of the same ideals. I think we would get on really well. And he likes dogs. I like dogs. He likes animals. I like animals. He's got a nice house. I like houses.
Yeah, from personal experience, I don't think he would.
Wow. I don't even have a decent comeback for that.
Truth hurts. Truth hurts.
Wow. So's my fist in your face next time I see you. That's going to hurt a buttload as well.
Yeah, so we're never going to meet up ever.
I know where you live, dickhead. I've got your address.
Jiminy Cricket.
And I feel like your wife will let me straight in if I tell her I'm going to punch you in the face.
Oh, gee whiz. She'll give you the bat.
She would, yeah. But I'll help. I'll hold him down.
But kick him. She knows all the weak spots as well. She's had plenty of fucking experience with that. But yeah, the part of this being about English law. So Millwood had done nothing to get shot, if you know what I mean. This wasn't in self-defense. Millwood wasn't in the act of committing a crime or anything like that. And the Judge George Chief Justice Baron MacDonald said, "I should betray my duty." Posh, because he's a lord. So, "I should betray my duty and injure the public security if I did not persist in asserting..." This is a long fucking speech. I should have thought about this. "If I did not persist in asserting that this is a clear case of murder." Right, he's a judge. He's supposed to be impartial, but he's just gone, he's fucking murdered him, lads. Right?
This is the worst audiobook ever.
"If the facts to be proved to your satisfaction, all killing, whatever, amounts to murder, unless justified by the law or in self-defense. In cases of some involuntary acts, or some sufficiently violent provocation, it becomes manslaughter. Not one of these circumstances occur here." So, an hour later, the jury came back and went, "Yeah, it's manslaughter." And the judge went, "For fuck's sake, what did I just say? It was an hour ago. It's not, man. You can't, no." So he told the jury that the court could not receive such a verdict because there was no case of manslaughter here.
So what's the point of having the jury?
Yeah, pretty much the judge has gone, "This is murder, right?" So
I don't care what you lot say.
yeah, it's murder, right? I've told you it's murder. I don't know if they have defence lawyers or whatever's going on, or if the judge just listens to some shit and goes, "He did it. He fucking did it."
He just makes his mind up. He's just like, normally I would let the jury decide, but on this occasion they're all fucking idiots.
Yeah.
So I overturn their decision and say that yes, it was murder, not manslaughter.
Yeah.
Go home.
12 men strong and true. I've got 12 meat bags here. I'm going to make their decision for him. No, fucking killed him. Right, guillotine.
Smooth.
Yeah, gallows for you, son. See ya. So, it wasn't self-defense. It couldn't be manslaughter. So it was either murder or nothing. So then the jury came back and went, "Well, it's fucking murder now. You've shouted at us for 2 hours, dickhead. Well, go home." Oh. They came back with a guilty verdict, and Smith was sentenced to death by MacDonald.
Oof.
To hang from the gallows.
Death by McDonald's.
Death by McDonald's, yeah.
Eat the Big Mac! Eat it!
You're going to keep eating these until you explode in front of our eyes.
There are worse ways to go.
I can't think of many.
Then dying on McDonald's, are you...
Yeah, I've not had a McDonald's for about 10 years.
Well, this explains why you're always so miserable.
It could actually explain a lot of things in my life, to be honest with you.
Depriving yourself of fun and happiness.
I last had a Burger King in 2016, and the only reason I know that is because it was at the Olympics.
Dear God. No wonder you're depressed. You went to the Olympics. Dear Lord. I don't know if I can help you anymore.
In 2016, the Olympics were in Brazil, in Rio, so...
Like, that makes it okay? Firstly, you chose Burger King over Mackey's. Secondly, you are a fucking computer nerd that went to a sporting event. What the I
enjoy sporting events, please. And
you don't play sports.
Less of the... I don't now. Not with my knees and my back.
You never played sports.
Fine.
Apex doesn't count.
I get tennis elbow quite a lot. I'll be quite honest with you.
Masturbation is not a sport.
Here's the way I do it. Here's the way I do it. Tell you.
For God's sake. It would be in the Olympics if it was.
Oh, God, no, it wouldn't. Cause...
Oh, God, can you imagine that? Oh,
God.
my gran would lose her absolute shit. She would love that. She would.
That went a different way than I expected it to.
She absolutely would love that.
I don't think anyone would love watching that. I mean...
My gran hasn't seen action for quite some decades.
How would you judge it on distance or, like, technique and style?
Like, maybe it's like... I would like to think it would be distance, but I feel like it would be stamina.
Yeah.
But I think it should be distance. You should have to hit a target.
Yeah, can you imagine the tryout?
Like shot put.
Fucking hell. We've created some kind of...
We've created a monster.
Yeah. That's all I'll think of now.
How far you can...
I mean, that's my excuse now. I'm in training. I'm going for gold.
All right, okay. But you should be getting the tape measure out then and trying to improve your distance.
I mean, I still want to keep my amateur status, though, to be honest. Why? That's the way you compete at the Olympics. You can't be a professional.
You can't be a professional?
I don't know.
At the Olympics?
I don't know. It used to be. I don't know.
I feel like they are professionals at the Olympics. I mean, I don't watch it, but I feel like it's a thing.
I mean, it is a thing, obviously. It's clearly a thing. It's been on TV, so...
No,
I've seen it.
I mean, being a professional, like, you don't see Nick Frost lining up to do the 300 metres, do you?
Yeah, but they don't get a wage.
Well, yeah.
Do they?
Why would you pay somebody to play sports for fun? That's ridiculous.
No, but like this is like
Look
boxers.
at the footballers. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So boxers, like, they get paid for having a fight, don't they? But in the Olympics...
Yeah, but they're getting punched in the face for money.
Yeah, but there's boxing in the Olympics, and they don't get paid. And then it's you choose whether to go... If you like the gold medal, like Joshua won the gold medal. We've gone off on a tangent now and talking far too much about sport. But Joshua won the gold medal at London, maybe, or the one before that. He won the gold medal and then decided to go, rather than keep it amateur, he went professional, and now he gets, like, knocked out after fucking 7 rounds. But yeah, so they don't get paid. They get sponsorship and they get funded, but they don't get a wage, which is the difference between professional and amateur, I would assume.
Well, they get a big fuck off gold medal at the end. Melt it down, sell it.
It's not real gold. Oh.
It's not real gold?
No.
What the fuck?
There's like less than 1% in it. The ones at Japan were made from...
chocolate pennies.
No, that would be awesome. But they were made from computer bits.
What?
Melted down computer bits. It was the first...
Why is everyone going nuts over the gold medal then? It's worth fuck all. You can't even pawn it.
Well, I mean... They're not going to be fleecing it, are they? Getting cash converters.
Well,
yeah, mate, how much would you give me for this? Ooh.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want somebody else's medal.
There's people out there that would, though, I suppose. And then when you go around the house, you go, "Fucking hell, I'd never notice you with your beer gut in Japan. What you win that medal for?"
Did they not get the names put on it or anything?
Yeah, probably. I would assume.
So, like, if somebody came into my house, be like, didn't know you were that into Jessica Ennis. I'm not. Thought it was a chocolate coin. Devastated when I got it home.
Now I know why it was $2,000 off eBay. Fuck you know. Just
Some
really
people have just got
fix.
money to burn.
Really needed a fix at that time.
Just fancy cheap shit chocolate. None of this galaxy crap.
No, not well-made chocolate. Just crappy churned out stuff.
And it was too early for advent calendars. I'm devastated.
But yeah, as we go back. So Smith was sentenced to hang, but in fairness to the judge, MacDonald, he did petition King George about the case and explain pretty much what had gone on. And the sentence was commuted to a year's hard labour.
What? That's a bit of a downgrade right there.
I'd say it's one extreme to the other, but hard labour, 1800s, I mean, it wasn't like sewing jumpsuits or making driving license, car license plates. It was like probably really cracking rocks for 18 hours a day.
I bet it was litter picking. Death or litter picking?
Well,
choose.
Could very well be. I'm a vegetarian.
I really hate litter picking.
Yeah.
It's so shit. It hurts my back.
I can't be arsed. Don't even give you a stick. Yeah. And then all the press coverage apparently made the real culprit come forward, who was a John Graham, who was an elderly shoemaker who had been dressing up as a ghost by using a white sheet to frighten his apprentice, who had been telling Graham's children ghost stories.
Wow. So he was just doing it for funsies?
Yeah, apparently, over a 3-month period.
But was he like out in the streets or just like in his shoe workshop, just jumping out and going rah to his apprentice?
Apparently out in this graveyard jumping out on random people that he thought was his apprentice.
What? Oh, his apprentice must have one of them faces. They blend into the crowd, they look like everybody else.
Like,
you'd think somebody you work with every day you'd recognise.
It'd be like working with Michael from The Office. Like, Calm down, John. Come on.
Maybe he couldn't see properly through the sheet and he just thought, well, I know he's coming this way at some point after work, so I'll just play it safe and I'll just jump out on everybody that comes through this graveyard. And then I can't miss him, can I? I'll have a bit of fun in the process.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Cast a wide net, I suppose.
Yeah. It's all fun and games until a painter and decorator and cosplay gets shot in it.
Exactly. It's
all shits and giggles.
Indeed. But yeah, so the actual defence that Smith was using is actually a legal defence nowadays, if you can actually use it for the 1983 case of Gladstone Williams. So Gladstone Williams, he saw a younger man being dragged violently away by an older man, and the younger man was shouting for help. And without thinking, he acted on instinct and assaulted the older man, thinking that a crime was happening in front of him.
That's good.
Unfortunately, the older man turned out to be Old Bill, and he was arresting a thief. So Gladstone was arrested and charged with ABH, which is aggravated bodily assault. Now, he was actually convicted of this, but on appeal, Lord Chief Justice Lane said, this is long, so I ain't going to do a voice. Important edit. So I did read out what the judge said during the trial, but after listening back to it, it is an absolute horror show. So I'm just going to paraphrase it, and hopefully I get it right. Basically, what that means...
Can you paraphrase?
Yeah, if Gladstone was trying to have try a kid on the jury, and he actually knew it was Old Bill and the thief was his friend, and he went over and punched the policeman, that's not acceptable, obviously. So that isn't a defence. It's got to be proved that he didn't know that this was a policeman. So in the first half, he's saying, in the case of self-defence, if the defendant believes, truly, deep down in his heart, with all his mind, body and soul, that something bad's happening and he steps in, then that's fine. But this is what the jury have to believe. It's not what you tell, because anyone can go into court and go, yeah, I seen him attacking him and I give him a kicking because I thought he was a ghost. Anyone can say that, but the case has to be proved for that to have been believed. So
okay.
It's a legal defence, but
right.
I don't know how you're going to prove it.
Yeah, it seems a bit hazy.
long story short is basically because Smith thought he was being attacked or approached by a ghost, and because he believed in ghosts, in theory, as a legal defence, he would have been acquitted. Yeah. So
I've got to remember that one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll punch
indeed.
you in the face.
But you've got to try and prove it. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Thought he was a ghost.
I thought he was a ghost.
He was coming at me with a knife, I think.
And a sheet.
Yep.
So yeah, it lasted a long time, this, in English legal history, at least, and was the precursor to trying to prove your case. But again, it's like, how do you prove that you genuinely thought that?
You can't really, can you? You can just be like, I really did. Honestly, I promise.
You just have to rely on the jury to believe you. And as we've seen earlier on in the episode, they're just like meatbags, like mouth-breathing idiots who need to be told what to do.
You've just got to be a good actor.
Yeah. Like, geezer Cockney, innit? I see, like that. See, any voice. I can do any of them. So yeah, that started out bad and didn't get any better, to be quite honest, in the side of making me believe in ghosts.
Well, I mean, this is one of those cases where it clearly was
a man in a sheet.
that it wasn't a ghost. Yeah,
it was a man in a sheet.
Like, I have to Scooby-Doo this one. Like, man in a mask. But I can't.
Would have got away from it with it if it wasn't for them pesky blunderbusses.
Exactly. You know, so I can't persuade you this one because it's already been proved otherwise. You have to get me a case I can actually fucking say as a ghost. However, that wasn't fair. You set me up. You suck.
Well, we'll see if there's any such thing as real ghost stories.
Well, there is, but this isn't one of those times.
This is legal. This is legal stature now. So
this is a bricklayer dressed as a painter and a decorator that got shot in the face by accident by a bloke who thought he was a ghost. I can't do anything with this.
See, the thing is, you didn't get shot in the face by accident. You got shot in the face on purpose.
Well, because he looked
point.
a bit like a ghost.
Because he was wearing white overalls but had a face.
Yes. I mean, you know, I can't do anything with it. Me and my people can't do anything with this, Aunt.
Okay.
I'd be embarrassed to ring Zach to look into this one.
Yeah. Well, if he hears this, he may be on the phone sooner than we think. How dare you compare... I don't know how he speaks, but how dare you compare me to an 18th century rascal.
Have you even watched Ghost Adventures? I feel like you've been watching a totally different show.
Watching medieval horrors.
Sounds like you're watching Monty Python.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And on that bombshell, as always, this has been the MO podcast with me, Consummation San.
And me, Atreya.
Thank you so much, and we shall see you all next time.
The MO
Bye.
podcast. The MO podcast. The MO podcast.